Now, I know you see the title, and I'm 100% certain that you're probably already screaming clickbait. Oh my God, there's no way. Pause. Hear me out for a little bit. Just give me like maybe 4 or 5 seconds here, 4 or 5 minutes of your time, right? Something happened. Something happened. I've been doing a lot of digging for these games in the past, and you won't believe the shit that I found, actually. So to give some context, Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield are the new Pokemon games set in England / London, UK area based, and this is Generation 8 for the Nintendo Switch. They got announced yesterday at the time of this recording, and this isn't the first time we've seen those names before. And it took me a while to like realize what the hell was going on, but wow. So I'm gonna take us all the way back to a post in March 2018, back when there was the Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee leaks that everybody discounted until we got the games. But there was also one more leak that came out, or one more quote unquote leak that came out, and we all just ignored it because it seemed too good to be true. This 4chan post by Anonymous, right? Back in March of 2018 reads, games are called Sword and Shield, England / London based region, no gems, you challenge lords and get medals, essentially badges. There's 8 lords. The Elite Four equivalent is noble knights, and champions is different per version. Female champion for sword and male for shield. Region is big like Dragon Quest VIII, but doesn't reward exploration besides the occasional unimpressive item bait fail or item bait find. Or item ball find, might be, I apologize. Some Pokemon get new forms called Sword and Shield forms from energy bestowed by the legends. Starters are the only Pokemon to get both a Sword and Shield form. I do not know the starters. Aiming for November release, but could be pushed to spring 2019. My sources confirm things are at the expected pace, but everyone is very overworked and stressed. Game Freak was just not prepared for HD development as well as they should have been. Won't give me any information on Pokemon themselves besides the obvious based on the titles. Evil Team are a thieves guild. Goal is money and power, so less obnoxious than recent teams. Now, I'm pretty sure if you saw the region of this game, you know that there's a humongous difference between this town at the top, the very, very top, and the town and everything else is at the bottom of the region, correct? What if the Evil Team is at the top of the region? This is their home base. You have to understand, like, this whole entire upper section is all modernized, futuristic, industrialistic, but everything under is all like really, really traditional. Granted, there are factories here, but factories are one of those things where it's like, maybe that's the point. Maybe all these factories, they're all connected to going up here. And if you want to be technical, there's still this little random cave on the side that literally goes nowhere, right? Just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind for right now. Keep that in mind for right now. Just keep that. Now we're going to go back to a post in February of 2019, specifically February 20th of 2019. We have gotten the announcement of Pokemon Sword and Shield on the 27th. So here we are, 7 days after the fact. And here's a leak, or a rumor rather, that just started out of nowhere, but it's too good to be true. We don't know. Anything, during this point in time, anything is possible when it comes to these games. We don't know what's going to happen soon, right? Here. This is it. Believe it now or later. Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. Region is Great Britain. Legendary Pokemon are Metal Snake and Wooden Horse. Armored Evolution. Armored Charizard. Armored Mewtwo. Armored Flygon. Armored Zeraora. And Melton ties into Armored Evolution and Legendary Lore. Now, besides the false and homosexual remark, right? Peep game. So like I said, if you have to compare these two right now, all you see is Sword and Shield, Sword and Shield. The entire region is based off of England, London, Great Britain. Here, there are some Pokemon get new forms called Sword and Shield forms from energy bestowed by the legends. Starters are the only Pokemon to get both a Sword and Shield form. And this one is Armored Evolution. And this one is Armored Evolutions. You get what I'm saying? Certain Pokemon that we've seen in the title screen so far, like Flygon. Flygon's in the very first trailer. We have yet to see Charizard, Mewtwo, and Zeraora. But Zeraora is a recent Pokemon as well, until recently, because Ocean and Ultra Moon, he came out with the movie as well. Now you gotta think, why would they bring returning Pokemon and give them evolutions or quote unquote armored evolutions? You have to understand, this is the UK / Great Britain. All these Mons are somehow, they're not exclusive Mons. The only ones that are exclusive to the regions are the starters so far, right? Everything else that we've seen has been regular common Mons at this point, right? Kalos even has their own little Charizards and their own little Charmanders from Professor Sycamore. He has his own. And maybe that might be a tie-in to Kalos. Because if you remember, like I have to show you, wait, and speaking about that, the only place and the only reason why this place would even have a Mewtwo to begin with is if there's a Mewtwo around. The only Mewtwo that's around this area, if it's wild, right, is the Mewtwo from Kalos. You see this random train track right here, this random little road that's over here, like leads to nowhere, right? As you can see, it leads to nowhere. This place leads to nowhere. There's nowhere else in this region that this goes to. Nowhere above, none of this at all, right? Has anybody ever paid attention to, since this is the UK, right? Since this is Europe, right? There's an underground railroad that connects the UK to France underwater this way. Kalos would be in the southeast part of this region. If you were to go all the way down here, this is where London would be at. London would be all the way down here, like on the other side of everything, unless you wanted to say they changed up a lot of the locale or whatever, and this is where London is at right here, right? This humongous industrial city, this is where London is at, right? You can argue whatever you want. You can change the format of anything, but the fact of the matter is, if they're going off of Pokemon being right next to each other and they have connecting railroads, right? Listen, connecting railroads. In Kalos, there is a whole railroad that leads to nowhere in the game, in X and Y. What if Pokemon X and Y and Pokemon Sword and Shield are connected to each other, and Kalos is a reimagined, or Kalos is going to be a revisited region in the after game? Because like I said, southeast, if we're going off of them being right next to each other, southeast of the Galar region would be Kalos. Because Kalos, from the northwest of that is where, or France, from the northwest of France would be essentially where the UK is at. Or if you where that's at. If you know your maps, you know what I'm talking about. So that's one thing. But like I said, the only place you can ever find a Mewtwo in this region, it seems, right, would be the X and Y Mewtwo from the cave. That would be the only way that would make any sense at all. Now, like this leak says, there are no information regarding the legendary Pokemon as well. You can tell this is very early in development right now. But if we go over here, you can tell that there definitely is something going on right now, right? The legendary Pokemon are Metal Snake and a Wooden Horse. I would assume, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you'd have to go into real UK lore for that type of stuff. I'm not really sure personally. I'm pretty sure somebody can go in the comment section, is going to be in the comment section, and try to make sense of everything. It just is what it is. And you have to understand, the last one, the very, very last one, is really, really interesting because Meltan ties into armored evolution and legendary lore. If we go here on the region map, there is this humongous section where there's this weird Pokemon right here, sitting right there, right? Anybody notice how, let me grab a better picture, hold on. Does anybody notice the head on this thing? Right? Does anybody notice the head on this thing? Now you may be thinking, Nick, come on, dog. It doesn't look anything like Melmetal, right? But peep game how Melmetal and Meltan actually work, right? All these little weird things under this thing are all the Meltans, and the Melmetal is the big thing, right? It exerts energy. This is an alternate form of Melmetal. It has to be. or an alternate form of Meltan. Because as a collective, if you know, Meltan turns into Melmetal. But maybe there's something else going on in this region when it comes to the lore and the legendary typing, I guess. Or legendary, I guess, classification, category, whatever. This isn't coincidence. How Meltan and Melmetal, they aren't Cantonian, those aren't Cantonian Pokemon. They're not. They're not. Professor Oak knows about them though. They're not Cantonian whatsoever. A mon that's still very mysterious to us this entire time, Melmetal, has yet to have any information out on him besides the fact that he's like a metal liquid version of like Zygarde in terms of him being like a hive mind damn near. When they all come together, they become one big thing, and when they separate, they're not that strong. But when they come back, they're just an alternate version of Melmetal might actually be a thing, and it might be this. Now I know what it's based off of. For those who don't know, it's based off of this giant structure that's based off of a legend over there in the UK, and it's really crazy because honestly, dog, I forgot the name of it. I forgot the name of what it's called. I'm pretty sure somebody else is going to put that name in the entire series or the entire comment section itself. It is what it is. But this is based off of that giant Nazca line looking thing is based off of that, right? But this doesn't look like Melmetal. It doesn't look like Melmetal at all. Melmetal is this humongous, big, bulky ass thing. This thing looks weird. I can see this being Steel Ghost or Steel Psychic by the end of all of this is done. Like, just keep this word. I'm not saying any of this is 100% confirmed. I'm just saying there are coincidences here. Now, if this video you think is a waste of your time, I apologize for that. But look, I'm putting discussions out there. I'm actually very, very excited for these games. I've been sitting here this entire time, like trying to like look for like quote unquote leaks and rumors to go and piece stuff together or whatever. And they all seem to have this really, really random coincidence of having the same method, the same gimmick to the games. And it's kind of weird that at that time, we obviously ignored them, but now that we got the region, now that we got the Pokemon, it kind of makes sense now more than ever that these things might genuinely be one of those things that we just threw to the side, but ended up might being what spoils and or what tells us what the game is going to be about, or give us like a rough layout or a foundation as to what this game is going to be centered around. So, with that being said, hope you guys enjoy it. Like, comment, subscribe for more Pokemon Shield and Sword and just overall Pokemon content. I appreciate you so much for giving this video a like and or a watch. I just appreciate you the whole time. This is gonna be it for me right now. I'm gonna come back later. Let's do this. The season is here. It's Pokemon Shield and Sword. Bye.